Hey there, this is Winter. I'm making this video tutorial on how to use my new software NormalPainter. So it's a new software I made that lets you hand paint normal maps using a joystick to select the direction of the normal. Here that's our color wheel. I can choose like the direction. This is top left, top right, etc. Or I can use my joystick and paint using my joystick. First disclaimer in this tutorial, I am not an artist, so what you're going to see me do is not very good. I made this software as a programmer for my artist. So yeah, and I also don't have a pen, although I still will go over how to use a pen in this tutorial. I'll personally use a controller for this. So yeah, let's get started with the file loading. There's two files here. Flat is the unshaded version of your asset. So in this case, I'm just gonna load my thing, and I can here on display, I can show flat texture so we can see it, and I can change the opacity if I want. Then we can either load an existing normal map or just click new image. And this is going to load an image that is like the same size as our flat. And we can even use a mask to choose where to paint. So let's say I take this mask. Now that's my mask, and it will, when I paint with mask multiply enabled, it only paints where there's the mask. But yeah. So for controller configuration, first you need to make sure your controller is connected. It should detect almost any controller because I'm using a library that should do this. But once you connected it, it may work right away, but you may have to choose those settings. So first, like personally, it just turns out that the correct axes are like X and Y. But if it's not the case for you, you can just swap those, and then like you'll have like the correct axes. There are only like two ways that there could be, and if they are inverted, you can just invert them there. And this is only inverting the joystick, so you don't like, it doesn't invert the color like other options. And for the ranges, this depends on like how far your joystick can go. Like if you have a good joystick, mine is really poor quality. You can see it flickering right now. This is like very old controller, but if like my controller doesn't go farther than this, so if I lower the radius, now it goes. So something like 0.8 works fine for me. And yeah, this is the joystick configuration. So as long as you see like your thing moving on the top right, when you move your joystick, it should work. And yeah. So now onto the painting. We get a bunch of options: opacity, size. Fair enough. The pressure should change the size of the brush based on pen pressure of your graphical tablet. So you choose like the maximum pressure and all. I don't have a tablet to test it out, but my artist uses this and it supposedly works well. So I mean, if you have a tablet, let me know how good that works. Personally, I cannot test it out. There's a hardness. Lower hardness is like fades more, so that's like with GIMP, like you can see that's very faded. If I disable mask multiply, yeah. So more hard, it's more pixely, I guess. If you do pixel art, I guess you want to use max hardness. We can change the draw mode. Behind will paint behind what we already painted, and erase will erase. And yeah, we can also erase the mask. So yeah, in the mask, how the mask works is that you have a different layer for mask. There's a lot of technical reason to do that, because like once you I forgot that. Once you like flush the mask, and the mask had semi-transparent bits, like let me disable the mask. How can I hide? Oh, like this. So even if I show flat, see my mask had semi-transparent bit. So like those semi-transparent colors cannot be edited after applying the mask, because I mean, it's weird blending. If I just take another mask, and then I try to paint this on, it's like we first placed semi-transparent pixels there, and then when we reapply the mask, we also add more semi-transparent pixels. So like you cannot like undo this. So you should not flush a mask until you're done with a section that like goes on the mask. If this was over, if I don't feel like changing the color drastically, I don't need to flush. Like I'm okay with this. But yeah, this is a technical detail. I don't mind. Like it's not that big of a deal if I didn't make a good job at explaining it. But yeah, so that's the mask multiply. You basically only draw where there's white pixel on your mask. So yeah, you can choose whether or not you want the mask to appear on top and etc. Next would be, oh yeah, you can disable joystick. That's the pen tilt. Like, okay, the direction you tilt your pen decides the direction of this. So that color would be the pen held perfectly straight, and the more you tilt it to the right, the more you get that color. But obviously, your pen cannot tilt all the way to 90 degrees. You'd have like, I mean, it's not convenient to like hold your pen like that. So with the pen degrees, you can choose like which angle should be the maximum. So if you choose 20 degrees, then when your pen is 20 degrees from its center, it's going to be this maximum color, and so on. And yeah, this radius can be like, it can be clamped. So like if you choose 0.2 to 0.7, then my radius is stuck in this range. And this is can be very convenient because we don't always want to use the most insane colors, right? Like they can look too harsh on your normal maps or too steep, let's say. So yeah. Other than that, the radius step defines like with what precision your radius is set. So now I can basically set anything almost on my radius, like any value, but if I raise it to 0.9, well now it snaps to 0.1. So if you want to always use the same values, this can be useful. Then those options are a bit more obscure and not really useful. I'm not gonna go into this. Yeah, okay, now there's the pinning feature. So if I erase this for now, if I want a nice gradient that goes outward on this rim, let's say, instead of using my joystick, I can disable it and set a pin here. And now my color, as you can see it, is basically any, like it follows the line from my pin, my black X square. So if I paint with this, why does it? Oh, I'm still erase. If I paint with this, then we can see it makes a very nice gradient. Now here I can make a new one. Maybe my brush is a bit too big, and so on. This is very convenient. What's wrong with this? Oh yeah, I should have blend weight to 1 because I don't want to blend colors with one another. I just want to overwrite, so that's the issue. And so on. This is very convenient because like you can basically draw any normal map with this, and with relatively low effort. I don't even need to control my joystick. But then like it's only it has a limited purpose. At some point you cannot do everything with this, I think. But yeah, so let's finish this tiny portion of a normal map. That's a relatively smooth map. Like we could be more intense, and let's take some blue, like the basic blue. Oh yeah, there's hotkeys by the way. If I press this is a bug. I see. So there's hotkeys that goes from 1 to 9 that selects like which place you want. So like if I take 1, it goes to the bottom left, 2 bottom, and 3 bottom right. It's like numpad keys basically that lets you specify the direction. For some reason the 5 doesn't work so well. Maybe it's because my max radius, or the radius step. Oh yeah. So if you have the okay, that bug only happens with radius step to 0. Anyway, so let me paint behind to add some. Oh yeah, I need to flush my mask and etc. Add some blue here, and yeah, that's a nice normal map we got there. And it works pretty well. You can see like maybe it's a bit harsh on the pixels, but I don't have anti-aliasing on this. Worst case though, if I wanted to smooth it out, I can like reduce the hardness. Very little hardness, little size. Does this smooth it out? Oh yeah, I'm still behind. Normal? Yeah, I guess this can be used as some kind of smoother. If you want like less harsh edges on your lining, up to you. I mean, I assume you're the artist because personally I'm the programmer. I'm really not too good with the software. You're gonna figure it out. I'm just there to show you the functions. So yeah. So this was the pinning. If you want to invert your pinning direction, that's the option, and it will let you like. I mean, this is like the pin is like pointing outside, I guess. Like the pin is like the high region. If you do opposite, it's gonna be the inside, I guess. And there's the normal from path feature. It's a bit janky, but basically like it paints outward. Let me make this hard. Like it basically makes a gradient that follows the line you're painting with. So let's have a new. Let's show the flat texture. This is very work in progress, but like if I enable the max multiply, increase the size, I basically want to click here. Now, yeah, I'm gonna go this direction. So it kind of tries to paint from the direction I'm going. So since I'm going this way, it's gonna point either up or down. Honestly, it's a work in progress. There's potential with this feature, but like, yeah, it's not that smooth. You can choose the angle, etc. Oh yeah, that's the numpad shortcuts. You can choose like which intensity it goes to. So yeah, and you can invert the color picker. If this can be very useful if you're using a graphical pen. You can just invert this so you don't have to do 360 degrees with your wrist. And yeah, other display options. This lets you see the normal directions. This option, very useful for debugging. Yeah, this is the spacing of every arrow. You can disable live preview in case you're lagging. Imagine if you're editing very large image, disabling the image preview will be slightly useful. And likewise, you can disable the line drawing. This is going to make it more coarse because it's just going to draw a bunch of circles instead. But again, this can be higher performance. Let's paint like a normal map from scratch, like together. Maybe that can be valuable. So let's find a flat image to like paint a normal map to. I don't want to make the same bush. We've done enough stuff with the bush, so I'm just gonna find some graphic new image. So we're gonna make a normal map for this small baseball cap. So yeah, now it's totally flat. We want it to react with light. So I'm gonna use a pin technique. I mean, you can try it with the joystick, but man, I'm gonna make a mess, especially with this glitchy joystick. It's not gonna be fun. Yeah. So let's did I disable preview? Yeah, live preview was not enabled. And let's reduce the harshness a little bit. Yeah, that's good. So I'm gonna set, like, this is gonna be a circle, so I'm gonna set a pin there and like disable my joystick again. So that's gonna be out this radius. And yeah, I think if I do something like this, Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, erase this part, that part, then another circle, maybe a bit bigger for this. Yeah, I want this a little bit thinner. Yeah, like that. And maybe a little turnaround on this, like a little fun little gradient here. Oh, what happened? Why isn't it? Oh, I'm still on erase. Yeah, a little dot. I mean, this is not too bad of a normal map. I have a bottom section, I think. Still have my, no. Here's, I'm gonna set another pin. Now I'm gonna invert it. Invert pin direction. And then I want this behind. Yeah, like this. Then I'm just gonna erase everything that's extra. Not maybe too much. Like this. Like this. And yeah, how does that look? I mean, not the best normal map we've seen, but hey, I mean, maybe a bit smoothing on the edges would be nice. So let's flush this mask. Let's go disable this pin. Go 5 and hardness 0.07. Oh, what is this? No, not erase, normal. Yeah, I kinda like erase actually with minimal hardness. How does that? This makes it slightly smoother, I think. Yeah. Oh yeah, in the middle here, this line, we're gonna add some blue. Okay, like this. Normal. Yeah. That's too much. Let's decrease opacity to like 0. Something. Yeah, this, I think this does something. Hard to tell. Yeah, this definitely smoothing it out. Oh yeah, by the way, in the tester, you can switch the lights thing with the numbers. Not on the numpad this time, but with like normal numbers. So like some of them are like fire, they move a bit, some not. But yeah, I mean, this is my normal map. I hope you like it. I'm not an artist, but like, this is fine, I guess. I would not, yeah. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you got something out of this quick tutorial. Let me know if you have any question. And yeah, see you.